All right, we made it. We did it. We got all together. I didn't think you were going to make it, Ben. Glad you're here.
Why?
It seemed like you were having a hectic week.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yes, that makes sense, yes. But I'm here.
And you didn't message back at all. And we
I
understood
know,
why.
I know.
We understood why.
Halfway through the day, I was like, remember when you promised your brothers that you would respond more often and you're not?
We understood why. We understood. It's not a normal week for you. For those of you who don't know, Ben has broken both of his femurs, and he has been in the hospital for a good amount of time.
I'm in the hospital right now.
He's breaking up a fight, and he got beat up by a bunch of 12-year-olds.
I took all 30 of them on.
First of all, I think they were like 8, not 12. But
All right.
Welcome to the Darwin Awards podcast. We have gathered the dumbest deaths from this last week. Not a strong week, I don't think, but we gathered the dumbest deaths we could find. We scoured the internet. The whole world.
I love when you start the podcast. We didn't find much.
Well, yeah, you
this
gotta
week.
let them know.
Maybe I did.
all right.
Skip
These
this
are the
episode
3
if
best
you want.
stories you've ever heard.
You'll be amazed.
Man takes selfie, falls off cliff.
Let's look at next week, last week. This was episode 96 last week. And we had, our 4 stories were, story number 1 was the guy who built a plane and he crashed on like a street. Do you guys remember?
Texas-Oklahoma border.
No, it was something else. Was it the Texas-Oklahoma border?
The guy ran out of gas, or was that 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, it was a plane. Yeah, he was in, I think, North Dakota, and then he took a plane down to
Or North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
North Carolina. Yeah, right, yeah. Anyways,
Then we had the Ukrainian guy who did the polar ice plunge, but the water was
Moving.
swept him underneath the ice.
Yeah.
We had the British base jumper whose freaking parachute didn't open, jumping from 29 floors. And then we had that, I'll read the title, Elderly East Texas Man Dies Trying to Get Items from Flooded Truck.
Ah, yes.
The winner for us was the ice plunger, and the patrons and non-patrons all voted for the ice plunger as well. They like the ice plunger, so there you have it.
there we go.
Welcome.
Oh, just an update. Before the podcast, I had to leave briefly because my son swallowed a Lego, and he thought he was going to die. My wife just texted me an update, and she said, your son just told me he thought that it was the end of his life.
Poor kid.
That's good.
That poor kid.
He'll never swallow a Lego again.
It was the smallest Lego you can possibly
You get
imagine.
those little tiny red ones that
It
like
wasn't
shoots
even
out.
a one piece. It was like the top of a one piece. Like
Yeah,
the
right.
Lego.
It's like a flower, a pretend light.
Yeah, a light. Yeah.
If you're interested in voting, you can come onto our Patreon and vote. You don't have to pay. You can just follow us on our Patreon, and it posts once a week. Or you can go, if you listen on Spotify, you can just click on what you're listening to right now. Just scroll down. You'll see the link, and just go ahead and vote. And make your voice heard, okay? Let's rock the vote for episode 197 this week.
I can't remember that still exists. Rock the vote.
Oh, gosh. Hey, I looked up our podcast rankings today,
Oh, yeah.
and I think they're very inaccurate. How is 85% of our listeners from Belgium?
We're on what?
Quite
On
possible.
what? Rankings on what? Google?
No, I clicked a bunch of different, like 6 or 7 different podcast ranking websites. We're in the top 1.5% out of the almost 4 million or billion podcasts out there. I don't know.
Yeah, we're really professionals. We should quit our day jobs and
Really
just live off
should.
of this.
Full time.
Disappointed.
Just an episode a day. We'll just do daily deaths.
I don't think I'd have to quit my day job, but man,
Yeah, well, yeah.
Wow. So privileged. Yeah.
All right, well, I get to go first this week. And my story is coming out of Russia. It's a very short story. Let me share the article with you, and you can actually read the headline. Adam, would you mind reading the headline?
sure.
Oh, Ben, I don't care.
And by the way, Ben, there was a person who commented in the Patreon was asking, "What's Ben's real job?" They wanted to know.
I own a hot dog stand on Main Street in Lehigh.
There we go. Okay. In Timir, a drunk man flew into a hospital building on a snowmobile and died. Wow.
There you go.
Wow.
Now, this title intrigued me when I clicked on it because I was like, he flew into the building? Like into the inside or just into the wall? Or just into a wall of the building?
I think flew is probably not the word. They're just adding that word.
Well, here's what the article states. The police said that a 22-year-old driver lost control and broke through the window of a hospital in the village of Nosok. At the hospital, he drove several meters along the corridor until he hit the wall. So he actually flew through the window on a snowmobile, went down the hallway, and hit a wall.
This is Russia, you said, right? Or did you say Russia?
Yes, there's snow everywhere there.
Very
right?
Russian story to bring, Joe. Why are you this way?
He doesn't even know. Yeah. He doesn't even know if there's a hospital there at that point. It's,
Well,
20 feet of snow everywhere?
He could check himself in, right? He's injured. He's in the hospital. He's good to go. He
No,
survived, right?
He didn't.
Express lane.
Along the way, he broke a heating pipe, causing the hospital to be flooded with boiling water. So he ruined the hospital experience for everybody else.
Oh my gosh,
as
all
well.
those people taking sponge baths. No hot water left.
Now, I found another article, and this was first reported on Telegram. And I found another article on this, and this guy was drunk.
Okay. Yeah.
How dare you?
Can you drink and drive like that? Is that legal?
Bring a Russia story where if there's a drunk man.
Snowmobile.
What kind of alcohol was it?
I wonder. Yeah, I do wonder. Maybe tequila?
No,
No, not that. Well, yeah. So the videos don't show anything good. It's all the aftermath. I was really hoping to see a video of a snowmobile flying through a window, like perfectly through the window, but I couldn't find that. It was just the aftermath.
You could have AI made something. You know?
A snowmobile that hits a wall is okay, but a snowmobile that goes right through a window and then like goes down the the hallway for a while.
It could have been a
drunk.
whiteout outside, and he didn't see the hospital. You know, who knows?
Like I said, all of Russia. It's all
Right.
snow, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Does Russia have any like Arizonas around? You know what I mean? Like, is there a New Mexico in Russia where it's like deserty and not freezing all the time?
I'm sure there is. I'm
There's
sure
probably a
they
nice
have,
beach somewhere.
I'm sure they have. Everything's beautiful there. I don't know. We're not there. It doesn't matter.
I don't
I'm
think
sure
that they have it. I don't think.
Okay.
I think it's
to
like
our
Canada.
fellow Russians, can you just send us a few photos of your national parks or whatever you got there? It's a huge area.
It's like Canada.
No, it's bigger than Canada.
But still, Canada is the same area, kind of, the northern hemisphere. I'm sure it doesn't have any. Canada doesn't have anything.
Canada doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. That country doesn't make sense to me.
I wouldn't call out to our Russian listeners because there's only been 16 listens lifetime out of Russia that I can see.
They don't have freedom there.
Yeah, that's right.
How many listens out of North Korea do we have? Can you check that?
Do you think that's listed? I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't
We
think
gotta
it's
have at least
listed.
one, right? Somebody.
Any out of China?
It's probably some
But Belgium, 85% apparently. So, according to one website that I saw.
Okay,
All right, Joe.
Short and
Not
sweet.
bad.
Flying
Not bad.
snowmobiler.
I like it.
I've never actually been on a snowmobile myself. Have you guys ever even been on one?
No, but I actually would like to. That sounds kind of fun, actually.
Doesn't sound fun at all. I've been on a couple four-wheelers where other people drove, and I didn't like it.
Oh, I love
I will
riding
drive
quads.
my own four-wheeler, and I'll go slow and be fine.
Four-wheelers are scary, but the least scary of all of them is just a jet ski. Why wouldn't you just do a jet ski? It's not even scary. If you fall over, you're just
I like
in the
jet skis.
water. That's nice. Snowmobile, you might die. And I almost did die on a quad.
We are a bunch of wusses.
quad's
we
different.
really are. We really are just a bunch of wusses.
What's is that the right word?
I don't know
You
if
came
that's
up with
a
a
word.
better one earlier. What was?
Yeah, we did, but we're not going to say it now, are we?
All right,
I'm going to bleep out what you said.
You got to bleep out.
Don't stop, Ben, stop saying that.
That's
You
offensive.
can't say.
That is offensive. Is everywhere.
You guys, I'm going to bleep every time you say those things.
No, you don't bleep it, so it sounds like I'm saying that.
I
I
love
don't
it.
want.
All right.
Mom's going to be mad at you.
No, she's not. She's called me a before. I'm sure of it. All right.
She's going to give you a phone call and she's going to say,
No.
I didn't know you were feeble-minded.
I'm going to say it enough to where you're going to be like, I don't have the time to bleep this out.
All right, who's next?
You. No, Ben.
I just went.
Wow, you guys.
Your
can't
story
figure this
was
out.
so forgettable. I couldn't remember.
Oh, you think yours is
Snowmobile
better.
crashes into a hospital. It's a white
That
out.
goes
and
through
you
the
know where it's going.
window.
He was probably having a heart attack at that point. Who knows?
Yeah, he's on his way. That's how he just needed to get to the hospital.
It's the only way you get around.
Yeah, it's all full of
He's going
snow.
to bypass the emergency room, go right through the window into the hospital.
Smart, because if he's bleeding to death right then, they take him right to the emergency surgery. No waiting.
You actually might be onto something.
So is he
with
an
this.
idiot or is he smart? Because he
He
does
may be
the opposite on
genius.
this.
I'm already dying. So.
If he's dead, then he's not a genius. But
I have a minor emergency where maybe my arm is bleeding, but if I want to be seen sooner, I need to,
crash into a wall.
yeah, get some attention here. Get
Well-
him to the OR. Stop.
This not to sidetrack us, but when I worked in the emergency room lobby, people would fake stuff all the time because they thought it'd make you get there faster. So somebody would be sitting there for 4 hours because they're there because they have a headache, and then all of a sudden they're pretending to pass out on the
I
floor.
hate you, Joe,
Why?
because I would literally be in the worst tooth pain of my life, and my head is going to burst, and you're like, it's fine.
No,
I'm like,
no. I'm very compassionate.
I'm gonna ram my head through this glass wall
But I
right
was
now.
not compassionate for people who would fake things. If you fake
but-
passed out, which
but-
is the most normal
but
thing,
a lot
I
of those
punished
nurses
you.
said I was faking it.
Joe has one of those like belts on when he just pulls out his smelling salts and he's like, "Oh, so you're fine. You're fine."
I had an ammonia capsule taped behind my name tag, and I would break it right underneath their nose and hold it right there underneath their nose.
Boom,
And
wake up.
Once a guy
All
hit his
right.
head on the door because he whiplashed so hard after I stuck that thing up his nose that he hit his head on the door so freaking hard.
Which is why we need to bring smelling salts to Brothers Weekend
No.
golf.
Nope.
If
Wave
you're
him under Greg's
golfing
nose when
really
he's just
bad,
before his swing.
Yes.
if you're golfing really bad, this will wake you up. Come on, hit a good golf shot.
That's not a bad idea, Ben.
Until one of you
My
gets woken up that way in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Probably
locking my
me.
doors.
All right, my story. The second story comes out of Peru. Here we go. I'm going to try to read this correctly. I have no idea how to pronounce this. It looks like churros, but not really. Chorrelos? In Chorrelos, a man dies. It looks like a mountain called Melicon Gru, I'm guessing.
The man on the
guessing.
mountain.
A man on the mountain. Well, it was a lot of men and women on the mountain. They were co-workers, actually. And they were drinking on the top of this mountain. Why you bring co-workers to the top of a
Wait.
mountain?
Oh, so they weren't working there taking a break. They after work.
No, this was 2 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, it was a party.
This was Thursday, February 1st. A 38-year-old man died and from the top, falling from the top of
Mount
Melicon
Kilimanjaro.
Grow in chorizos. Right? You guys can read this and correct me.
Chorizos. Got
Yeah,
it.
you'll
It's not
figure it out.
chorizo.
That's where
I don't
that's where the
know
meat
Spanish,
comes from.
and I don't. You guys do, and you'll figure it out.
You know what the word malecon means that's on there?
Okay,
Malecon means actually like a dock, like a big cement dock for giant boats. That's what a malecon is, like a harbor.
Hmm.
So are they in the mountains or are they at a lake, like at the harbor?
Did he drown or did he fall? That's
All
my
right,
question.
here we go. He said it happened from a cliff, it says.
Okay. I found a map of where this place is. It is right on the coast.
All right. Well, earlier this man died trying to urinate off this cliff.
Oh, the urination. Yes.
And in this translation, man dies after falling from cliff, which usually these stories I kind of pass on. Sometimes I found several today where people were taking selfies. Even here in Utah, there was one this week.
Well, peeing off a cliff is kind of intriguing a little bit, but
When you're drunk at 2 a.m.
Yes, at 2 a.m. you can't see where
It
it's going.
It sounds like a perfect Darwin.
You never know what
It's
the
your
wind's
fault.
going to do. You can't risk it,
It's not wind at that point. You can't stand. You're just
No, I'm
drunk
not
at
talking
2
about
a.m.
that. Just when you're peeing off of a windy place.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Okay.
That's funny.
All right. So you got this article I sent you.
Yeah,
just
here's the
recently.
story, but I want to show you what I found. This is Malecon. I wanted to make sure I knew what Malecon was. This is the exact place, Ben. This is where it happened. And you can
Well,
see
Yeah.
up above, mountain. And
Yeah, I
there's
think that's the
translation.
mountain.
Yep, and there's the ocean front right there. This is the whole area is called Malecon.
Okay, so you're choosing a what, half a mile distance of Malecon?
That lady looks
Show
bigger
me a
than the
cliff.
cone.
Maybe there's a bigger mountain that.
Yeah, no, there
than that
is. I'm showing you
embankment.
that they do exist. They do
Okay.
exist. There's like a cliff, but it's on the beach side. It's like near the beach. So
Sure, but I think there's a bigger mountain he fell off of.
You could
I
follow
don't think
that
so.
and hit the road, you'd be dead. Probably.
well, here's the picture they have of the where he fell. You can see it had cones all around it and everything.
Malicones.
So yeah, I guess it's
Mhm.
not. No, that's not what Malecon means. But okay.
Bad cone.
I don't know. We were toasting. There were several groups up there. We were not alone. I went to urinate, and my partner's body collapsed from trying to urinate, he declared, his partner. He fell 120 meters, so I don't think that is the short cliff that you're talking about.
No. This is a very similar situation happened where another guy fell from 120 meters a while back.
Nah, he fell 120 meters. Ignore that.
This guy
Ignore
did.
that.
It doesn't say that he fell.
He fell
Very
off a
similar
cliff.
search.
They fell off a
Yeah,
cliff.
it was a cliff.
It doesn't matter how far.
If you're
He
peeing
died.
off a cliff and then you're drunk at 2 a.m. and you die from the fall,
The problem was, it looks like that he moved away from his friend because he was too scared to urinate in front of him,
That's not
which
a
I
problem.
think is a real move.
he has like public
Joe, stop.
urination.
You're just looking for
fear.
ways to beep that out. Just,
Yeah,
Speaking
I
of-
don't.
And real men urinate in front of each other without a problem.
you know what? I hate going. I had to go to Dodger Stadium at the time. It was that long trough. It was
Oh,
like
I know that
300
trough.
people, and like, oh gosh, it was so bad. Hated that.
It is-
The new Ram Stadium is fantastic. Like
Is it?
a
Was that
lot
what-
of
is it a
individual
trough?
stalls.
Oh, okay.
No
no, Joe, it's
troughs.
fantastic. He said, not great. Not,
Well, maybe he likes the trough. I don't know.
Although you could smell weed everywhere in every
yeah,
bathroom.
I'm sure.
That was not regulated whatsoever.
Yes. Probably coming from the players, even.
I don't know.
The Rams players. Well, it was a good story, Ben.
That was a great insight, Joe. Thanks for that fun joke.
Way
That's
to
a
make
good
fun
story.
of Puka over there.
So we have a guy driving his snowmobile through a hospital, and we have a man urinating off the edge of a cliff. A drunk man urinating off the edge of a cliff.
You know what, guys?
Or an embankment, or who knows how tall it is.
120
You don't know.
meters.
You failed this week to recognize a celebrity that died. Did you see one?
Yes, we did.
No. Who?
Famous golfer.
Very famous golfer. Also,
Phil Mickelson?
a combat veteran.
Yep.
Oh.
Nicknamed Chubbs. You recognize that name?
Oh, really?
Yes.
What's his name? What's that guy's name? He was in Rocky.
Yes, he was in
Yes.
Rocky.
Yes, he was.
What was his
There you go.
name?
I want to say
Oh,
Edward.
Carl Withers.
Yes,
Carl
Carl
Withers,
Withers.
yes.
Yeah.
That
He
wasn't
died?
actually.
Yes,
yeah,
he
he did.
died.
Oh, frick.
Normally, we always try to, if we can, bring up a celebrity death. And we don't usually mock them unless it's like,
No.
no one knows this person. That we like to.
They
I
already-
like him in
Yes.
everything.
They already have
I liked him in
footage
everything.
of Chubbs in heaven. Have you seen
With the alligator, like, waving.
Yes.
My
the
favorite role
piano.
of his was Arrested Development. He was in Arrested Development.
I didn't see that one. I mean,
Oh
I've
my
seen Arrested
gosh.
Development,
He
but I
was
don't
so
remember him in
good.
there.
He's so good.
Do we have a commercial related to this?
Carl Withers commercial?
No, we don't. We're not going to do
Adam
that.
Sandler or something? Can you get
We can do an Adam Sandler. That'd be great.
All right. Well, let's take a quick break and we'll come back with Adam's amazing story. He says the best one he's ever found. So we're excited
Yeah, I
about
mean,
this.
apparently we're not even close.
Hey everybody, this is Shaq, and I love listening to the Darwin Awards podcast. When I am not throwing down epic dunks and hanging with my best friend Charles, I listen to the Darwin Awards on Patreon. For just $5, I can listen to all the archive and bonus episodes. Join me and show these guys your appreciation. Pay the $5. Don't be a fool. The Darwin Award Plus on the Apple Podcast application is pretty great too. This is Shaquille O'Neal saying that if you don't pay for these bonus episodes, you dumb a little flat earther.
All right, my story comes out of good old Louisville, Kentucky.
Is that how it's pronounced now?
No. Yeah, it is and it isn't, right?
No,
Yeah, who cares?
Is it Arkansas or Arkansas or is it Arkansas?
I just
Whatever.
like saying
Louisville.
Trigger people. Louisville. I love
It
that.
is Louisville. You spelled it that way. That's how we're going to pronounce it.
Louisville. Okay, you're going to love this story. You probably already saw the headline, possibly even. It says an Indiana woman is mourning her husband after he died in a house fire while trying to save a pet dog.
Yeah, why wouldn't she be mourning that, Adam?
Right. Did you see this headline? Possibly, Joe.
I wouldn't have clicked on it. There's got to be a twist here.
Yeah, I think we've kind of talked about. We don't bring up saving pets stories
here. Okay. What happened was looks like a candle had been somehow knocked into a garbage can, and it started a fire in their house.
Okay, that could
That's
happen.
what happened. All right. The couple managed to escape the house, but then noticed that their dog was not with them. So
it sounds like a story that we've said we're not going to tell anymore.
So the man rushes back in to rescue the dog. When the woman found the dog outside under the car, she decided to enter the house to tell her husband. She said she army crawled about 15 feet to let him know the dog was safe. He heard that. He said, "Okay, go back outside. I'm going to go find my father's ashes in the urn." That's what he's going to go save right now. See the irony of this already.
They're already burned.
He's going to get an urn.
Those are going to be
of
okay.
ashes.
You can just scoop anything in
I
the
don't
morning.
even know if an urn would it be left over after a fire? Or
Yeah,
would it
I'm
just
sure
burn?
it would be there still. Yeah, the urn's still going to be
I
there.
don't
If not, you could just literally just scoop the area. And
Ben.
That's not.
Dad was here, so put him in a new urn.
We have
Well-
some of him.
He said he got to go find his dad's ashes. He told me to make sure that she's safe with the dog and to get out. And he said he loved her. And that's the last conversation he's had with her husband and soulmate.
Gosh, is he going to be
He is.
cremated?
It's not a
He-
choice.
Well, okay,
He made it already.
This
Okay.
is
She went in-
simultaneously
now
a good
she-
story
So
and a
how
horrible
does she
story.
find his ashes?
Probably holding the urn or something. Who knows?
Ben.
I mean, how do you differentiate between dad and husband?
Ben.
Now it's all.
This is ridiculous.
I just think I mean, if you're going back in for a
the
pet.
most irreverent we've ever been, I think.
No, I just.
I'm trying to figure out the situation.
I can see saving a live animal, but a dead person that's been cremated doesn't. Like, think about it for a second. You're gonna leave your wife, and your animal completely gone for the rest of their lives because you want to save the ashes.
No, he was saving the dog, but he's like, since I'm already in here, I might
Gotta
as well
get the
my
ashes
dad.
too. I forgot about Dad. He's in here. I gotta go get him. So, well, that's how would you?
I don't know where to go with this one, Joe. I have no idea.
I think you already went as far as we could go with this one. She's
I see
scooping
the
up.
irony of it.
You essentially were like, no, she's going to get a shovel and she's going to scoop up wherever she thought he died and put that in an urn, and she has both of them. That's horrible.
Oh, well,
I didn't know where you're going with this. I was like, is there really a dog in there? Is it stuffed? I didn't see this coming, going after Dad's ashes.
well, I usually I don't. I know I get some good pushback if I got the story. I forgot to share it, by the way. But the title of it: "Man dies in house fire while trying to save dog, father's ashes." So,
Okay, that's why you click the article.
Interesting.
I
Because if
see
you,
that, yeah.
I wouldn't normally click it if it
And
just said.
I
trying to
looked
save
at
dog.
it, but the what really triggered me is when she told him the dog is fine, he's out here, and he's like, "All right." Instead of just coming out, he went back in. He stayed in there to go find other things. So, yeah.
Did he die from burning or from choking?
He never came
Eventually.
out. I'm sure he came out.
I mean, it's probably both. Yes. The answer is yes.
Well, did he
Darwin or
make it
not?
out afterwards, and then he died, or did he die in there?
no,
in
that's the
fire?
Fair
last time
question.
she said she heard it. She saw him.
Okay.
Okay, so he couldn't get out of the burning home and died in the fire. It says.
That's
Wow.
stupid and horrible. It's both of those things.
I hope they put out a public press release saying, "Don't go back in the house to get loved one's ashes."
They will. They will. They always do.
Well-
but where is she going to spread all the ashes?
No, that's
If this,
not
it's already spread.
spread.
No.
What
Well,
She's gonna scoop him up. I know it.
It would
What-
be entertaining at the end where she's like, the next day, the urn was still there. He was
Yeah,
able
I
to
know what's sad is the
recover.
father's ashes in the urn are completely untouched, and yeah, that's the rough part.
Okay,
about
let me
this.
ask you this then. Personal question. Besides the kids and your wife, what are you going back in for? Is there anything?
Probably his hats.
I mean, if I didn't have wife and
His
kids,
hats.
probably an Xbox or whatever.
Something
No,
personal
no, you
items
do
I
have
had.
wife and kids. Okay, you're
Yeah,
you're
you
all
said
outside.
beside the. Okay, then
You're all
nothing.
outside now.
Oh,
Is there
but,
anything
my
you're
anim-
going back in for?
Maybe my animals. Yeah,
Your fish.
I don't have a fish anymore.
I could see going back in for Charlie, but if it meant I was gonna die, like if the fire was still small enough,
I mean,
where I felt
you
okay,
would take assessment.
It depends
right?
how hot it is. If you start going in and you're like, it's so hot I can't even see anything, then yeah, you're
no
probably
way,
like, I'm gonna
man.
back out.
No way.
But if it's just barely smoky, you're like, I gotta go find this animal. But
yeah, if it's barely, but we got kids. Freaking, I mean, how old is this guy? I can't remember.
didn't say his age. Didn't say his age on here.
If he's
Dumb
an
enough to
old
die.
man, maybe it's like.
You think so?
okay. Well, if as at our age, going back in for anything when our kids are out there already and our wives,
Yeah,
it's pretty
Well,
stupid.
he originally went in for the dog, and then his wife said, "The dog's there." He's like, "Well, I'm pretty close to my dad's ashes. I'm gonna grab those," and then he didn't come back.
Maybe. Well,
Okay, good story.
good
Fun.
story for people that hate us.
Really
Or-
fun story. I liked it.
No, we're not here to please the people.
We're not
Well, I
really.
think technically that's the only reason we're here is to please
People who have some dark humor and like some lightheartedness
Yes.
as well,
Yeah.
where they're not going to be offended. This is the place. It's not.
This
We're
is-
not.
yeah.
Put
We're
up
not
a,
trying to
put up a
do
poll.
shock.
What would you go back in for? All right, let's move on to the lightning round. So this round, we're each going to bring a little teaser of a headline or a full headline of a story we'd like to share. We're going to vote on the one we'd like to hear all the details of, and we'll add it to our first three. Now, I went last, so my story I'm going to bring has to do with a man who consumed something 1,000 times more lethal than cyanide.
I mean, it could be like 2 times more lethal than cyanide. It wouldn't really matter, right?
But
A
it sounds
million
cooler.
times more lethal.
It sounds cooler.
1 billion times a nuclear bomb. All right. Okay. So he consumed poison. Got it.
Hmm.
I've got another sandal story. We've only had one sandal story.
We had a couple. I remember a lady in a train when involved with sandals.
Oh, okay.
I thought there was sandals one in the ocean too. Am I wrong about that? No.
No, I think it was dove in for a cell phone.
Sunglasses or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
My story is a man who accidentally sets himself on fire.
Oh, well, I
the
have
park.
something like that, and I'm not sure if it's accidental.
Yeah, I've seen
But
that
there were a lot of
headline.
accidental ones. But come on, give me a little more details if you want me to choose yours.
Well, the article says accidental, as do like 20 other articles.
I saw.
They all say the word accidental. In them.
I did. And there was one detail that concerned me of that story. But do you? What is? I don't know.
What are you going to say? Go ahead, say it.
Hang on, let me find this. I
Was
gotta look
he
at my article.
under 18, mentally handicapped, a homeless man who doesn't?
Homeless
know?
doesn't matter. If it's we're talking about Oregon here, so that's like half the population is homeless.
That's true. Oh, I didn't know it's Oregon. All right.
Now, this is in Beaverton.
Yep, Beaverton. That's the one.
I thought I saved this one for the Patreon because it's not a Darwin.
Oh,
Oh,
Joe
really?
thinks it
Should we
is.
talk about it?
Do you have enough details? I honestly didn't read it. I just
All
saw
right, so mine's out of
headlines.
Beaverton Valley Times.
Yes,
Where's yours out of?
I read like 5 articles on it. I have 2 YouTube videos on it, and I have another.
Oh.
I have a written article on it.
Okay, Ben. We could tease him if it's not, but you know.
Yeah, let's make Joe the butt of the joke. If you're bringing a story that we both have read and we decided we didn't have enough information on it, and we're like,
Right.
and
Okay.
this is what you. Okay, here you go.
This comes out of Beaverton, Oregon, which is just south of Portland, and they experience all the same garbage that Portland experiences.
Do they actually have a lot of beavers in Beaverton? Is that why they call it Beaverton?
I mean,
That's a
there's a
serious
beaver.
question. I
There's a
don't know.
beaver Utah with no beavers whatsoever.
Oh, that's a good point.
That's true.
You know, we just had Groundhog's Day, and the kids were excited spring is on the way, but we've had like 3 days of the worst weather. It's been horrible.
It's like overcast and horrible. You guys have been got a lot of snow over there, right?
Yes.
And over here, it's just been raining and sometimes sunny.
Windy.
Mm.
Anyways,
No windy.
back to
Fascinating.
Beaverville.
Yeah. This podcast is taking a turn for the most fascinating weather report. All right, Beaverton, Joe.
All right. Well, Beaverton is plagued with bums and junkies, just like the rest of Oregon. And I rarely went there, as little as I could. The title is Man Dies After, quote, accidentally lighting himself on fire at Beaverton City. Now, if you typed in man lighting himself on fire, you'd find, seriously, like 10 articles. They all say the words accidentally, because the police are saying accidentally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how often are you typing in accidentally lighting himself on fire? I just typed in accidentally died.
Yeah. No.
And the story
Yeah,
came
that
up.
came up a lot, but I saw accidentally, but I read one story. It was short. It didn't say any details, so I didn't even bother. You must have something else.
Multiple details.
Can you tell us his name, please, all the way?
Okay.
I see it now.
Although, hold on, this article doesn't have his first name.
This
But if you
article is Sayed Hosseini Mazlagani.
okay,
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
You clearly watched the video.
Well, the
stupid.
the video I watched said his first name, and it was like Joel or something like that.
No, it's Sayed Ali.
Okay, well, he told everybody that his name was Joel.
That's easier.
Yeah, because that's what you do in America. If you have a really hard name, you just tell people it's Mike or whatever.
He put a lighter near his face, then started running after he became engulfed in flames before falling to the ground.
Was he drinking while lighting something?
Mm-hmm. That's what the controversy is. This man had just, according to some videos that I watched, this man had just come from across the street from the homeless shelter. There's also a preschool, an elementary school across the street as well, right next to the homeless shelter. So
Wow.
some of the parents are very upset that their kids watched a man die on fire in the park across the road.
I imagine they would be upset about that.
Great place for elementary school. But
Pick my kid up. What happened today? Man died by... Yeah, I don't know.
no one was
I'd be
peeing
upset.
today, but he got burned to death.
Let me share the sound as well so you can watch this.
No.
I don't want to hear somebody burn.
What are you
He's
doing?
just joking. It's not
No,
a
the
live
video will give you details
Okay.
that you
All right.
perhaps
The news
didn't
report.
know.
All right.
I'm sure there's no first-hand
All right, let's hear it.
account of this.
Park this afternoon to take a man to the hospital after he apparently accidentally caught on fire. Tualatin Valley Fire and Rescue says this was around 1 at Beaverton City Park. Bystanders were able to help put the flames out, and officials say it was immediately clear life flight was needed. We talked to a witness who describes what he saw.
I seen the guy take a lighter up to his face and then a flame and it go like this, and then he started running, and then poof, he was all on fire, and then he fell to the ground.
I think this guy had tattoos on his knuckles that said "just
No.
killed." Did you see that?
Tattoos on his knuckles. You're right.
I was gonna make fun of you for a second, like, oh, they just are making fun of some homeless guy in the park. But when he was like, and then poof,
He does. Look at this the tattoos all over this dude's knuckles. 1976. I don't know. Anyway,
They found the best guy for the interview for sure.
okay, so
Poof. So what would cause that?
an accelerant.
Probably-
According to all the articles, it says an accelerant. I don't know what that means.
maybe so if he's lighting
cologne?
something, maybe he's filling his own lighter, so you can refill lighters with like lighter fluid, and it's messy.
But you don't do it next to your face. That's
If you're homeless, maybe you're just wiping your face all the time. Maybe he is drinking vodka or Everclear, and it's on his
it's
face.
clear stupidity, I would say in this. Yes.
Here's what worries me about. I'll go ahead. I'll just
Purell? Do you think he had Purell on his face? Is that flammable?
No.
Here's what worries me. I think this guy may have doused himself in something. He may have.
Cool. Thanks for bringing that
On
story.
purpose?
Allow
Joe.
me to finish, please.
Or an
I don't know that this is true. I don't know if it's true or not. But all of the Oregon articles seem to be going out of their way to say accidentally. They're really pushing that it's accidentally.
Got it. I get
And
it.
I
It's
did
Oregon.
watch an interview from a parent that was quite angry about it. And I think that they're trying to make everyone think it was accidental. Maybe it was, but I think they're really pushing that
'Cause
hard
they don't wanna
so that
Seem like
They want to look like the homeless people are.
running the city.
Right.
Exactly.
Got
Yeah.
it.
So, take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I'm definitely voting for your story. 100%.
My story's looking better and better.
It was humorous. I'll say that. It was good.
Well,
All right.
if you can
Let's
remember
do a
what we
quick
just did, Joe, let's hear it.
Let's
Let's
do a
do,
quick
uh,
recap. Story number 1 was a man who rode his snowmobile right through a hospital and crashed into the wall in the hospital.
Drunk man. Drunk
Drunk
Russian.
man, yes.
Drunk
yes.
Russian, yes.
Story number
Dare you?
2 was another drunk man who was urinating off a cliff,
That's right. 2 drunk men.
lost his balance, and died.
Do you think the fourth story was a drunk man?
Guaranteed.
It's possible they're all drunk. We don't know.
That's part of the problem with it. It's actually a no-drink shelter, and he immediately came from that shelter.
Yeah, I don't think they check on that
Yeah.
in Oregon.
That's part of the problem with that parents are having too, I think. Anyway, and then we had the guy who went back in for his father's ashes into a fire. Well, we've got a bunch of doozies today. And then we have the man who lit himself on fire accidentally in the park.
2
somehow.
fires,
His
2
skin was
drinkings. What are we going to do?
So I went first. I get to vote first. And I might be surprising with my vote. But I think that the man urinating off the cliff is the easiest one to choose.
Hey, hold on. You're making fun of me. You're not picking this, are you?
I'm actually picking it. It
Yeah.
seems like the easiest, dumbest thing to choose. Whereas the other ones, I'm not. I don't want to vote for a guy who goes back in for his dog or his father's ashes. I just don't want to vote for that.
But the fact that
If he went
She
in for a
got a free
Nintendo
funeral.
Switch, would that be okay, Joe?
That one, yeah, that'd be fine. I'd
Okay.
vote for that. So I'm voting for the urinating off the cliff. You guys vote however you want. Go ahead, Adam.
I'm not next.
Yeah,
Ben's next.
Sorry, Ben.
Well, then I'm just going to go ahead and vote for myself because I think the details are there in the story. He went up to pee. They've been drinking. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. He fell off while peeing and died. That seems just stupid and funny, and you did it to yourself.
Okay, let's see what Adam votes for. Let's see what kind of heart this man has.
Oh, definitely for the guy who went back for the ashes. I would vote. Heartbeat. I think it might pull a tie or a close one.
Of course,
It'll
no.
get there. It'll get there.
But it's funny the way that we made it sound.
I guess we'll find out next week, right?
Congratulations,
You can vote on
urinating
this.
man off the cliff. Well done.
Hey, we got some new Patreons, and we have some fun stuff to bring, actually, to the next segment.
Also, you can vote. You can vote if you'd like to.
You should. Yeah,
You should.
Definitely.
What do you think we should? Or you could override our vote. Is it the man peeing off of the cliff or what?
I have a great story about a taxi. I was waiting outside a hotel, and all of a sudden, a naked man fell from the sky onto the roof of the taxi and crushed it.
Whoa. Wow. Looks like from a movie.
I have video, too, of the man on the taxi.
Oh, on the taxi. I say, how would you find video
Not
of
of him falling, of him still on the taxi.
I have an article that claims that this is the next pandemic threat, and it has to do with bats. So,
Oh, guys, if you want to know, pay
is
the
it?
money, or your life may depend on it.
this
$5,
could be,
guys.
I have the inside information. I mean, I had to pay through a paywall to get to this article, so it's real legit for sure.
It could be bats.
I have a few great stories to bring, but this headline to me was fantastic. I mean, they lied a bit, but they were actually kind of right, but still lied. Man dies. Nuclear weapon found in his garage.
Well, some cars are made with that type
No,
of
there are no
material.
nuclear power cars.
No, I'll bring it. I'll bring it right up. I can share the story first when we
Nuclear
go into it.
weapon.
I have,
Yeah, no, it's-
I have
it's
this
great.
video too.
It's great.
by the way.
All I see is an elephant.
You see one side? You don't see the whole thing?
Hey, don't share it. Share it on the Patreon.
All I
You'll
see
see
is
two elephants and two men
I
running?
see 2
Oh,
elephants.
I see
and,
two elephants.
Yeah, they're probably going to ram them into the car.
Well, you don't take selfies with one.
Okay. Well, we'll catch you on the flippity flop.
Love that, actually. Okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom now. I love that. The flipping crap.
So I'm sitting outside my kitchen window, and my kids are like, "Dad, there's somebody at the door, just standing there, just standing there. No knock, right? I didn't hear anything."